Hi, and welcome to Wrong Way. And today I'm going to show you the KuKirin G2 Ultra. Let me tell you more about it. Wrong way. And first up, huge thanks to KuKirin themselves for sending me the scooter for testing purposes and the review purposes. If you wish to purchase such a machine for below €700, might I add to this statement, then feel free to check out my links in the description. There's an affiliate link. I believe there's also a code WRONGWAY to get additional discounts. And yeah, huge thanks to them. I will make sure to tell you everything about the scooter, the good sides and the bad sides, the good, the bad, and the beautiful, and the ugly. So some people have double standards. This scooter has double standards because it has a double stem. So yeah, I guess that the overarching theme of this scooter is being slightly weird, but also at the same time being at a very good price and, in my opinion, actually good value. And one of the examples is the twin stem. Have I seen something like that before? Well, in a Cabo Wolf Warrior scooter perhaps, but not at a low price point and not in this design. So it looks sturdy, it feels even sturdy, but it squeaks a lot. And that's something that annoys me. Maybe some grease needs to be added. I don't mean the country.
You serious?
So even though the stem looks odd, it's, as said, quite firm, and it's very easy to fold this scooter. You just need to press on this button here, or this lever, and it doesn't like fold when you do this. You still have to pull on another latch here in order to fold the scooter. So it's a two-hand operation. Ooh. And then you have this loop. For the longest time I had no idea what is it for. And it just loops around the kick plate. And then you can lift it up as such. Or, yeah, it's a weird scooter, isn't it? It has some solutions that are peculiar, to say the least. Okay, but let me get back to the specifications of the scooter, or let me actually not get back because I didn't tell you about them. So let's get into front of the specifications right now. This is a low budget or mid-budget, mid-range budget scooter. We have a 48 volt 18 amp hour battery. KuKirin even goes as far as telling you different ranges in different riding modes. It's not really like that. Like, it's not that you have one mode and you go just slow and the other mode you go just fast. It's always like, how much do you accelerate, how much do you weigh, what's the temperature outside, etc, etc. So I did a range test on it. I did about 30 kilometers, whatever freedom units, I guess 17 miles. It was very cold at that time, so I'm sure I can get more in the summer. And if I accelerate less, I will get also more range. But at the same time, if you go faster, you might only get 20 or 25 kilometers. So it depends on how much you weigh, depends on your performance. I would just say between 30 to 40 kilometers, if that answer satisfies you, dear viewer. Now, if you want to charge the scooter, then the situation is a lot worse because you have this puny little charge port here, and the charger could be, I don't know, from a laptop. It is a charger that is very weak, and weakness disgusts me.
Weakness of any kind completely revolts me. A weak charger disgusts me even more.
It's just 2 amps. It's 9 hours for a full charge. So I guess the Germans might be even not happy about that because it's 9 hours. So that's like almost no time, but it's a lot of time at the same time. I had no idea, just having a weird day today, guys, I'm sorry. Very slow charging, there's no second charge port. You can't really charge it faster as far as I am concerned. So this is also a dual motor scooter. We have 2 motors. Woo! 800 watts each, which propels this machine up to 50 or over 50 kilometers per hour. So this scooter doesn't have a dual motor mode or non-dual motor. You just have dual motor, even if you turn off turbo mode, which is here, or turn it on, same thing. And if you change the mode to eco, always dual motor. So yeah, always dual motor on the scooter. It's very torquey too. It goes up 26-degree inclines according to KuKirin. I have to verify that. You will see a video now of me verifying that.
The next day.
All right, so this is a 23-degree incline, I believe. So KuKirin should do it easily. Let's see how it goes. All of the strongest modes on. And yeah! Wow! Whoa, it accelerates up it. That was impressive. Good job. I think we have to find a steeper hill.
The steeper hill.
All right, so this is my 30-degree incline. This thing should not go up there, but almost a full battery, turbo mode, dual motors on. Let's see how this baby performs. Let's go. Let's go. Nah, fam, no. Okay. I was a bit too confident with that thing. Yeah, race mode on, turbo mode on. All right, 30 is definitely too much for it.
The less steep hill than the steeper hill.
All right, so I was inclined to find the right incline. This one is, well, 27. So this one should be right around the limit for this scooter. Turbo on, let's go. Power! No! Okay, let's try again with a little bit more speed. A bit more speed. No. It still can't do it. So I guess it's really 26. Man, they were precise. Let's check on 25.
The even less steep hill than the hill that was less steep than the steeper hill, but still steeper than the first hill.
All right, so that's my trusty 25er, 25-degree incline. Now I have quite a bit less battery. 3 bars are gone, but theoretically, it should go up. Let's go. Yep. Just do it once again for good measure with less of a run up. Yep. I mean, it was slowing down, but it'll be a pass from me. But I can only tell you that, like, if you're looking in a budget of 700 euro to get a scooter that can climb hills, like, this can actually do it. And even going up a, soil incline, we didn't get soiled. It's just made of soil and grass. It's actually quite nice to go up there, and it has actually the oomph to get you up there. So yeah, pretty torquey. Pretty quick scooter. Nothing to write home about, nothing to write office about either, or nothing to write work about. But performance is very decent. We get some 10-inch tires on this scooter, 2.75 inches wide. Fairly decent. I just wonder, why is there no mudguard in the front? It seems like almost they forgot about it. And the mud can just spray all over your face. I had a little bit of that on my shirt. Quite annoying, especially for rainy rides. But at least there's a very decent mudguard in the back of this scooter. The tires, I mean, could be wider, but I'm actually happy that they don't have such an aggressive tread. They are not too loud, they're quite comfortable, just decent, like lots of decent stuff on the scooter. Now let's move on to the suspension. We have C-type suspension in the front. We have a classic swing arm in the back. Let's do some jumps. Okay, let's now do a big jump. Boink. Oh my goodness. Boink. The only thing that is annoying really is the sound, because even the rebound is like, it doesn't feel like a trampoline. It doesn't feel like the other scooter from KuKirin that I was testing recently. I think it was the G2 Pro or G4 Pro, can't remember. That one had really slow rebound, so this is not the same case on the suspension here, but it is decent. It's quite good if I say so myself. When it comes to the brakes though, not so decent. This is definitely something that they cheaped out on. We just get mechanical brakes, and they do stop you. Quite a bit of feel on them, but yeah, this is definitely something that could be better on the scooter, but come on, the price point is very low, so I know that there has to be some shortcomings on this scooter. Now, it's not that the brakes are like really bad, because they still stop fairly well, both brakes. Actually, they're really not too shabby, but they have a different feel than hydraulic brakes, or semi-hydraulics even. Like, could be better. But actually, now I think of it, not too shabby. Like, look at that. Whoop. Okay, once again, come on. And before we move on to the handlebar, a quick word on the design here. It is just a sort of mixed bag, because you have this like cool stem that is like twin stem, double stem darts, but at the same time, this profile just looks so, you know, just got it off from a hardware store and just put it there. And then you have the deck, which is like the top of it is very nice. It's a very nice big deck, although I've seen bigger, but it's just so simple. It's designed in Roblox, like there's nothing to it. And then you have a kick plate, which is super nice. Like, it's very big, spacious. You have a nice rubber. There's even screws holding it in tightly. Even has this like nice spoiler element. Does the scooter have downforce? Perhaps. But then you have also the swing arms, which I don't know what kind of swing arm cruise they were on, but they're just so thin. Like, look at that here. Can you see it here? Maybe with the camera? Like, can you see it here? Like, this element here, it's like almost as wide as a freaking brake disc. But then it goes wider, like down on the bottom. So structurally, I think it's sound. It just, like, in some areas it looks great, and in some areas it looks like, I don't know, just drawn in Corel Draw or something. Also here, kickstand, small but useful. I guess it's good enough. All right, so we move to a bit of a darker spot to present to you this whole panel on the top. Now, this is not a huge LCD screen. It's sort of like separate small LCD screens with touch capacitive like areas on it. So I'll move on to the buttons and brakes later, but here you have the most important information about the scooter. So here you have the battery, and not that easy actually to see all the parameters, because it goes up to like a full like area here. You don't really know where it ends, but I guess this is around 3/4 of the battery, 2/3. And then here you also have the turbo button. So if you press here, you get either turbo or no turbo. It's kind of hard to see, but this just gives you more power or less power. And those buttons only work if the scooter is stationary. Now further on here, you have your units, miles an hour, kilometers an hour. And if you press and hold this button, you allow or don't allow kickstart. So now it's off, but if you press and hold here, then this thing also appears here, and then you can ride the scooter from 0 kilometers an hour. I guess there's some more advanced settings here as well, but I don't know them all, sadly. So further on you have the single mileage of the scooter, which is 3 kilometers, but if you turn the scooter on and off, here you should have total mileage. No, it never moves. So I don't know what the total mileage of the scooter is, which is kind of annoying.
It's 300.
No, it's not, because it's 300 since I got it, since I got here.
So it's 300.
It's always 300. So if you see the scooters with 300 kilometers, then probably it's new or 3 years old.
So thanks! Thanks for nothing! You're welcome.
So here you can also press the button shortly to enable or disable the cruise control. So if you press and hold the throttle, you can keep the same speed of the scooter. Pretty nifty, easy to turn on and off. And then here you can select the modes of the scooter. So Eco goes up to 25, I believe. And then Sport is sort of my favorite mode, which is pretty smooth. And then Race is the fastest, you just press once more. But if you don't want to press the button here, you can just press a physical button here, and that changes the modes as well. Well, double press, boom, here it is. Boom, boom, boom. Scooter also does have speakers, which might be good for maybe navigation. But the quality itself is not the best, I guess. I definitely wouldn't ride around with music playing like that. But yeah, it might be useful for navigation because, well, it's kind of tough to put anything on the handlebar because, well, you have this huge panel here. Maybe here you would have a gap for putting your, you know, your phone for navigation because, well, anywhere here you don't have room. So yeah, bummer about that. So while we're here, let's have a conversation about the throttle. And probably the engineers went to the boss of KuKirin and they were like, boss, do you want a thumb throttle or do you want a twist throttle? And the boss said, yes. Because here we have both. We have this sort of thumb throttle element here, but it spins around with this twist throttle element. So as you will get the scooter, just keep in mind that if you have your hand here, press throttle, and then you hold on to the handlebar, oh, the throttle won't go back. How silly. Now, naturally, you can press the brake to disable the throttle. You just need to, like, it's a mechanism that takes some getting used to. Especially in those off-road situations, you have to sort of grip this throttle with, I don't know, with 3 fingers. Because if you hold it, like, you move the hand with you. So it's like a twist thumb throttle. It's not my favorite, really. Especially off-roading. Like, if you go around the city, it's fine, but off-roading, it's like your hand is in the way of your hand, sort of. But the suspension does really well here. Whoa. The other 2 fingers here on the side are getting very tired though, because they are the only thing holding on to the handlebar on the right side. The other 3 fingers have to be sort of maneuvering the scooter. Power delivery could be also a bit smoother. Like to have more power towards the end of the throw of the throttle, not so much in the beginning, all right. For me, it's fine because I just like press the throttle first here and then I just sort of grip it where I want it and I can just modulate it. But at the same time, this little stubby thing is just too little and stubby. Like if it would be like at least this long, like we could work with it. But like if it's that short, it's not really a twist throttle. It's a mixture. So I guess this could have some improvement, but hey, it does work. Now on this scooter, there's additional safety in form of a key. So you can lock the scooter and you can leave it outside and no one will be able to just turn it on. I mean, that's easily. I mean, probably the lock-picking lawyer could open this in like 2 seconds, but at least there's some level of security here. On the left side of a handlebar, here we have all of the controls and oh boy, is there a lot to talk about. First up, easiest thing here, red button, is this horn. Then you have 2 buttons on the bottom here. And this is the light button. So you actually have running lights and high beams on the scooter. Let me quickly demonstrate it to you. So here we have the low beams. Now we have a high beams. And now they're off. So that's very nice. The only problem with this light is that it's not height adjustable. And the beam starts like somewhere very far away. So at least it's not blinding, and that is nice. And you have the option of high beams and low beams. While we are on the topic of lights, let's talk about the taillight as well. So the taillight is actually quite dim, and it doesn't get brighter when you brake. It just sort of blinks. And if you brake really quickly, it doesn't even do that. It needs like a minute of braking to start blinking. So definitely some improvements could be done here. And you also get turn signals, which honestly, no one cares. Like no one will look at that and think, oh, you're turning. Like this is not an indicator of anything. This is just useless. This could be more tail light instead of having turn signals here. So I don't know, not a big fan of that. However, the turn signals on the front, very visible, very nice, quite usable. And the weird thing here is that if you just go with the scooter at some speed, like this, they automatically turn on. It's like the scooter is a hazard when you walk with it because the hazards are on. Let's go back to the controls because they're confusing. So again, this button here, you press it, low beam, high beam off. can press it sometimes randomly, pretty annoying. And then you have a similar button, which is almost the same shape and does this similar things. You press this to the left side, and then the turn signals are on. You press it again, and the turn signals
turn off.
What this does to your ride, essentially, is that you always ride with a turn signal. You forget about it. There's no audible sound. You don't see it as much here on the screen. There is an indicator on the screen which shows you that the turn signals are on. Is there any? Yeah, but you don't really see it as much. It's like literally a tiny triangle here. Boom. So yeah, turn signal action on the scooter, I don't like it. Don't like the buttons, don't like the turn signals in the back. The ones on the front are good, but you just forget about them, and they're more of a con than a pro, really. All right, but what is it really like to ride this scooter? And in general, I think it's decent. The suspension is definitely nice, and the power is there. But another thing that I really appreciate on the scooter is the geometry on it, because as you just seen, like, you can just lift up your hand, you can lift up the other hand, you can even brake. And it's not often that you get a scooter which you can just ride almost like with just one hand. So the geometry is really good. There is a very mild regenerative braking on the scooter. So it's always on. I don't know how to turn it off, if there is an option to turn it off. The regenerative braking, which is always on, is very mild and very nice to use. Now, of course, with dual motors, it's not always easy to control a scooter. You have to feather the throttle a little bit. You can just turn off turbo mode, or you can go into sport mode. But if you have the strongest mode on, it's like, it's powerful. The comfort is definitely there. The suspension is good. It bottoms out very quickly. So maybe for a heavier rider, it's not the best option. But let me tell you, for 700 euro just to get around town, like, I think it's super decent. I just wish it wouldn't squeak so much. A 2-minute plank a day keeps the doctor and stress away. So what can I say in total about this scooter? Well, you have to remember that this thing costs just around 700 euro. And for that price, you can get like a Xiaomi scooter, which will be not as comfortable for sure. Or you might get just, you know, a bike which doesn't have any motors and it has less torque, because probably you like in front of the screen, you have less torque than the scooter. It's pretty powerful. For sure, you get less value in terms of, I guess, maybe safety and longevity, because we don't know how well it works in the long run. Drop in some comments if you have the scooter and if you're like satisfied or not satisfied with it. You know, the batteries are really not branded, and well, you don't expect a smart BMS here, which you could get potentially at a like in motion climber. Whew, it's getting really warm here. At a bit of a more expensive price point, but you know, you get a lot of performance here, and I think in total, I think this is genuinely quite a good package, especially considering how well it rides, how nice the geometry is, how good the performance of it is, and you know, all of that taken into account the price. So if you're still here, leave a like on the video, subscribe to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next video. See you soon.